Hello, Gary here with another video on our rifle reloading process. So on our next step, what I'd like to do is get a few dimensions off of our shell casing. This particular one is 300 Winchester short mag, and I want to get a dimension on my outside of my neck and my inside, and then my overall length of my case. These here have only been shot once, so I know that my neck there has elongated, so I know we're going to have to trim that. So let me see what my OD is. So I got a 0 to 1 outside micrometer, 345 there, we rotate at 90, 345 there. On my inside, got a set of small hole gauges. I'll be using the 300 to 400 thousandths set there. Slide it in there and expand the mandrel right there in the middle. Showing 315 thousandths. And here on the edge, we had our factory crimp showing 309. So our bullet would just slide in there right now. The bullets I'm going to be reloading with is our Nosler AccuBond 30 caliber and a 308, 180 grain. So to resize our casing, then the first step then I'm going to do is use our Lee resizing lube. Put some here on the index finger, run it around the case, the shoulder and neck. Squeeze up me a little bit more, grab a Q-tip, put some there on the inside, wipe off this excess. Set it there. The dies that I have are the Lee Pacesetter die set for the 300 Winchester short mag. Comes with a pamphlet here showing what your powder types you can use, your starting grain, never to exceed your grain load, your feet per second then for this 300 Winchester short mag. And on the flip side then, gives you a complete instruction process then of the reloading process. In our tray then, we've got our number 5 shell holder. It just goes there on the top, just pops right into our ram. Got our full length resizing die. Run up the locking nut a couple of threads, start that in our bushing, go ahead and raise our ram to the top. I'm going to run my die down till it just touches the top of my shell holder, bring my ram down, then rotate my die then 1/4 to 1/3 clockwise, and then screw my locking nut down against the bushing. The other component I'm going to add to my press is my small and large priming arm. I'm going to be using large primers, so it's the arm that I'll be using. It has a hook cut out there, and it goes in a pin that's inside of our ram and just fits right in place. On the decapping process, what this will do now is let our old primer fall down into the hopper and then down into the tube. So I grab my case, slide it in there into my tool holder, run her up, knocks my primer out, bring her down. I'm going to run her up there one more time. I'm just going to hold it there then 5 or so seconds and bring her down then. So now we have knocked our primer out and resized then our case. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off then any of this lube that's still yet on our case. Go ahead and clean out my pocket then where my old primer was at. Using my primer pocket cleaner, has a small end and a large end. Just run it in there and do this by hand or put it on a pistol drill. It will clean the bottom out. Shake out whatever carbon that you have. Grab you a Q-tip. Clean the sidewalls and the bottom out. As you can see, you're going to get some more residue out of there. Like I said, I wanted to go ahead and check to see what my OD on my neck is now. I'm showing 340 thousandths. Let me rotate at 90. About 340 and a half there. On my inside, showing 309, and right there on the edge is still tight. It's showing about, well, it's 307. So what that leads me to believe that I'm going to have then just about a thousandths press fit just right out here on the edge. So if anybody out there has got a solution to that problem as to how I can fix that so I've got a full thousandths press fit, or if that's the way that it should be, let me know then. So let me go ahead and trim this to length, and then we can put our primer in it. Take out the resizing die. Add my die then for my Lee quick trimmer, and that's also a separate die for your 300 short mag. Jam nuts ran to the top, and then this runs all the way down into the bushing. Secured. Got our little tray to catch our filings. It goes right there on our shell holder. Our Lee quick trim. It has a set of instructions and detailed explanation of the trimmer and to take it apart and how it works. If you have to replace the cutters in it because you're going to be cutting an outside chamfer, cutting it to length, and cutting an inside chamfer. You've got an adjusting ring here that says it will adjust up to 6 thousandths for the full max length. Take it away from you. If you want to cut it shorter, bring it to you. So you've got 10 clicks in there, so I'm going to bring it up 5 clicks to put it in the middle. And set it in here then. So like I said, on our overall length of our case then, with our primer knocked out, we can trim it, see exactly how much I need to take off. I've knocked my primer out so I don't have the dimple where the firing pin has hit the primer there and bulged it out some, so I can get just a better accurate measurement with that being knocked out. I'm showing 2 inches 104 thousandths. The book says I can take this down to 2 inches 80 thousandths or to the maximum cut of 2 inches 100. I'm going to shoot for the middle then of 2 inches and 90 thousandths on this. So as I bring the ram up, I'm going to turn my cutter in a clockwise position, bring it all the way down, run it around, and check it. I'm showing 2 inches 96. So let me bring her towards me then to shorten it 4 clicks. Put it in there again, run it to the top. You can hear it cutting then and dropping some filings down in the tray. Got a nice flat cut on top. We've got an outside chamfer and an inside chamfer. We've got a measurement then of 2 inches and 91 thousandths then. We're going to call that good on our overall length. So let me go ahead and remove my cutter. Like that, our pan and dump those filings out there. You can see what comes off. I'm going to take a Q-tip and run here on the inside. We'll do one more cleaning to see if there's any shavings from the cut there. Yeah, there was some. I had to stick to that cotton swab. Run that one more time in there on that primer pocket then. Do a visual inspection. Make sure we don't have no little filings left in there. So we can add our primers to our shell casings. The primer that I am using is our Winchester Large Rifle Magnum primer. I can either set up to load with my Lee Auto Bench primer, and I probably will when I load the rest of the 11, but just on this single application, and since I've already got my priming arm already in there, I'll probably just use the one. So let me go ahead and dump a couple of those out. Let me wipe my hands off again and pick one of those up and just put it in the slot where that priming arm is. Grab my shell casing, put it in the tool holder, and the direction says that one's supposed to be having ear protection in and safety glasses on while doing this process. Press down. Our primer then is set in place. It needs to be flush or just somewhat recessed. The way one can check that is have something that's nice and flat. There's a piece of tool steel and just set it on that. If it don't wobble, you know then that you've got a nice flat primer then in your case. So that will do it on that step there. Our next step will be to add our powder. We'll figure out our weight, add it to our case, and then seat our bullet, and we'll complete then the reloading process then. So thank you very much.